I am assuming you have watched the videos explaining two important concepts. Number one, how a real estate commission has two components that need to be negotiated and set separately in your listing agreement. And number two, how buyers pay the buyer side of the commission, even though it is typically included in the purchase price, and you, the seller, decide how much it will be. If you haven't, please go back and watch the prior videos now. The purpose of this video is to give you some guidelines to allocate the amount of commission to offer a buyer's agent while keeping in mind that the buyer has the right to negotiate that amount down with their buyer's agent and get the difference as a rebate, or better yet, a price reduction. This will hopefully drive home the concept that as a seller, you are not truly paying the buyer's side of the commission, but merely allocating it for the buyer to negotiate it with their buyer's agent if they choose to. In the first part of this video, we will explore the rebate and price reduction scenarios with a simple example. I am obviously assuming you are a rational seller who clearly understands that the most important amount when comparing two offers is not the price, but what you will net from each offer. Let's assume the buyer's agent agreed to rebate half of the commission to the buyer. So you as a seller, you receive $500,000, which is the purchase price. Then out of that purchase price, 2% or $10,000 goes to the listing agent, and 3% or $15,000 goes to the buyer's agent. Again, this is an example. So your net as a seller is $475,000, but the buyer gets a rebate or refund of $7,500 from their buyer's agent. Next, I'm going to take this rebate offer and show you a way to net the same amount or more by allowing, or even better, countering a rebate offer from a buyer with a price reduced by the amount of the rebate. You see, when a buyer is financing, most lenders will not allow the buyer to get cash at closing, and it would be silly for you, the seller, to lose a good buyer if you do not understand how to restructure the offer to still have the buyer benefit from the reduced commission they negotiated with their buyer's agent, while you net more in your pocket. Let's see how it works. As we previously saw in the standard offer, the price was $500,000 after deducting the listing agent's commission of 2% and the buyer's agent commission of 3%. The net to you, the seller, was $475,000. But the buyer was getting 50% of the commission of the buyer's agent, or half of $15,000, which equals $7,500. Now let's see what would happen if you, the seller, agreed to take not $500,000, but $500,000 minus the $7,500 rebate that the buyer would be getting, for a new contract price of $492,500. So if we take the new price of $492,500, deduct from it the 2% to the listing agent as a commission, which is equal to $9,850. And now the buyer's agent commission is no longer 3%, but 1.5%, because we've already given the buyer the rebate as a price reduction of $7,500. So 1.5% commission to the buyer's agent equals $7,388. And the net to you, the seller, is now $475,262, and the buyer receives nothing at closing. As a seller now, it is obviously clear to you that even though the purchase price went down from $500,000 to $492,500, you actually netted $262 more. Your net went from $475,000 to $475,262. I hope it is clear to you now that it is in your best interest to be a flexible and rational seller who understands and allows buyers to negotiate and reduce the contract price by the amount of savings they negotiated with their buyer's agent. Didn't this example clearly show that as a seller, you are allocating the commission rate, but still leaving it up to the buyer and the buyer's agent to negotiate down as they see fit? In the next video, we will explore the guidelines to allocate the buyer side of the commission.